All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. Good morning, everybody. Today is the 16th of November, 2022. We have some nice earnings. Should be some fun earnings coming out this afternoon to include NVIDIA and a few other names. Lowe's came out this morning. They raised guidance. They're currently up just a few points here. And with retail numbers coming out, the market decided to pull back. And guess where it pulled back? It pulled back right into our support zone that we sent out on Sunday. And you can see that this support zone keeps working. And what's interesting about this zone, if we go back to the lesson that I taught you guys yesterday, this is a zone, this is a box, right? And the first time we come back and test it, it works really well. See how far we actually push up from here. And then, the question is whether or not it, it can keep this low. Okay. So the idea here today is if for some reason we continue to break down and we can't break above the PMZ on open, then we'll probably come back to probably about right here, about 88.7% of this lower wick here. And if that doesn't hold, then I think we test the back of the box. Now, my idea here is to continue thinking long as long as the ES futures can hold 39.77. And the reason why I say 39.77 is I believe when I measure from the pivot here at the imbalance of orders, you can see that the 23.6 is around 39.85 and the 38.2 is at 39.36. So right in this level with these trendy edges gives me that 77 number. And I just want to make sure that I'm not prematurely getting short and then just find out we're in a chop zone. Now, saying that, I do have SPY butterflies on, and those SPY butterflies, the way that I position them was to basically hit these numbers. Okay, so I bought, the puts down here, and then I sold the middle strike, and then I bought these right here. So that's my butterfly. All right, in case you don't know what a butterfly looks like, I'm very good at drawing butterflies. It looks like that. Those are the wings. Okay, and that is the body right there. That is my butterfly for SPY if it breaks down. Now notice that we're still in the neutral zone. That's what I mean. So we're just seeing a lot of chop come through this morning. And because of that, I'm a little hesitant. I don't feel aggressive going into this morning right now. So I'll try to be patient. And my main focus will be whether or not the ES futures on the 5 minute can actually start to bid above the PMZ. Okay, but before we get there, let's go ahead and look at the 30 minute. So the 30 minute was a zone that I took a look at yesterday, and if you were able to hold the put positions, then again, like I said, those went up to 1,000%, which is pretty crazy. Um, we noticed that we created an inside and down. You could see it up here. It has been tested. Okay. Now here we have an inside and up on a 30 minute. So this is really my last resort when it comes to what time frame do I really like zones on would be a 30 minute. And notice that both zones are working very well. So this is going to be your 30 minute demand. Okay. And this is going to be your 30 minute supply zone. Okay, so expected range as of right now, and again, look at that 39.78. So if we break down below that 77 area and close underneath 39.77, then to me that could open up more downside. Okay, that could open up more downside. But for right now, we're literally just coming into demand. We pushed out a supply, the catalyst being retail or whatever else you want to add in there, Target, something like that is what caused the market to push down faster into demand. We all knew that, demand zones down below were left there by themselves, and the market started to feel a little overstretched. And so when it does that, we pull back and we look for those demand zones, and here we are. Okay. So again, key numbers for me, 39.77. Would like to see if it's going to close under there. That's your 30 minute look. Let's go ahead and now take this into a 5 minute. All right. So again, I use the ES futures to kind of guide me on my portfolio. Coming in this morning, I am almost 99% cash. So I'm very, very light. started a long-term position in XLV yesterday, and I'll be watching that to see if I want to add in or anything like that later on in the session. Okay. So on the 5 minute chart, what it's all about from a very intraday perspective, it's kind of like my go-to, right? So I just gave you the background of what I'm seeing. You could see that the 30-minute zone is working. You can see that we have opposing zones. And now the question is, timing is the variable. Nobody knows how long it will take before, XYZ happens. So what I've done is I've created what's called the PMZ, the pre-market zone, and it's going to pop up here automatically pretty soon. And what I like to see is if we break over it, we look to go long. And if we break down below, we look to go short. Now, last night I did get a question. I'll go ahead and answer this because I don't have a whole lot to cover this morning, and then we'll let Melissa jump on here. But I was asked, how did I know to take that short, right? Right before I went to the restaurant, I sent out a blueprint for you guys to short the market using the pre-market zone. All right. So again, just to go over this really quick, we'll go to a whiteboard. We had a PMZ for futures that pops up at night. Okay. And it's yellow. And the market gapped down. Okay. Down here. So what I want to see is that this PMZ is now going to be resistance. So what I did was I drew this really pretty arrow and said, hey guys, I'm not going short until we hit that zone, and then we'll go short into, say, this target down here. Prices dropped just a tad, like a point or two. And then later in the session, while I was going to the restaurant, I got short here. I noticed in the room you guys were celebrating. I looked at my phone, and then I closed my short here. The stop was not hit. And the idea here, folks, on the PMZ is that when we gap under, this thing is resistance until proven otherwise. Okay. If for some reason the market is trending, what I'll be looking for to the upside is I want to go long if we break above here. But for right now, with the market acting the way it is and see how it's staying underneath the cloud, we're not trending to the upside. We are digesting, we are going sideways, and so you have to really be looking at this market more on a micro perspective and just having a little bit of fun with it today and understanding that the overall sentiment is sideways until proven otherwise. And I would say sideways to down until proven otherwise. So if we break above the PMZ this morning and we stay above it, then sure, we can move back up here towards the 4003 to 4009 level. Okay. But again, if this, then that, this level down here needs to hold under 39.77. Okay. And I'm actually going to move that just a tad since that's the number that I pushed out to you guys. Okay. It's about right there. All right. And that's what that looks like. So we'll keep going back and forth to this screen. Far as like watches this morning, I don't have a whole lot that I'm watching. Um, I'm going to listen to Melissa. I personally want to be looking at LOW. They had, their earnings. I want to see how they react. Nvidia and MU, some of the semis, they've been moving a lot. So it should be interesting to see if they actually digest that move today and kind of, make investors worried. Oh, well, this is a sign, but we'll be going over our trade plan and seeing, what's up next and where we find zones and so forth, and potentially trade something into earnings. On Amazon, okay, I'm debating whether I even want to watch NVIDIA because they have earnings, so I don't really care to get into anything. But I want to watch, our old leaders in the market and just see how they react today. Are they just acting choppy? Are they good for a short? Like Amazon, same thing. If it can't get over the PMZ this morning, what I'll be looking for is a short, and then looking to short that into 96.60, 96, 95, and so forth. And then over here on lows, I want to see if they can start to go bid back above 214.38. On Apple, same thing. I'll be waiting for the PMZ to open up. I got some levels, and I'm undecided at the moment if I want to trade equity or options. But you'll see that since my API is attached to the room, you'll see exactly what I'm getting into. Okay. So from there, I'll leave it to Melissa. I appreciate you guys. I hope you had a great Taco Tuesday. I know I did. Like I said, I've been up since 3. So just waking up, getting my coffee ready, and ready for the day. So let's do it. Hey, thank you, Melissa. I appreciate it. So again, today starting off kind of slow. You can see a lot of the moves, even if the cycle is down for any reason, some of that's kind of happening already. So if you're an equity trader, then obviously you could trade pre-market, and get a few points or something like that out of these. But overall, you can see here, I have some arrows to kind of demonstrate things where prices could be going. But again, we're going to open up. We're going to wait. I'm going to be watching the ES futures and keeping my eyes there. I'm also looking at anything that might strike my attention for a possible trade. MU is down 4%. You got Target down 15%. I'm definitely not messing with Target, but Target is a perfect example, folks, of what you should be doing after what I taught you yesterday. Okay. So you come over here, you pull up TGT. I want you to go to a quarterly chart. Okay. So let's mark it where it's currently at. Okay. So let's go ahead and mark it. We're going to take a target here and let's just put it right there. Okay. And then we are going to go to a quarterly chart and let's see where that price is. Notice that the price is right before the inside and up. So we went inside and up, and if you anticipated, which that's what we do here, we anticipate an inside and up once we cross the threshold, and then you trade this to the upside. Notice where target stopped at the trendy edge, right? So this is resistance until proven otherwise. They get their report, and boom, guess where they went? All the way back down to the future edge. So this is interesting. In my opinion, target should bounce somewhere between 150 and 145. Okay. Now, after such a big move like this, I would be, I'd be shocked if we get a really big move today, but you want to give it some time. Notice we have the edge down here below. So we're going to actually take these two levels and put those together. Let it come in, let it do its thing. And then I think we come back and look at target a couple days later. Okay. Target's not going anywhere. So we'll come back and look at it. And then coming over to the neutral strategy, which is very, very important. You don't want to be forgetting about it. Like I said, so far, no candles are closing over the neutral here on SPY as far as the 4 hours concerned. There was opportunity to maybe scalp here on a smaller time frame, but overall very neutral. QQQ pushed up into T1. This was supposed to be support yesterday. That broke down, and here we are in the neutral again. These two areas, these are big cautions for me. I really don't want to do much in here. But notice that, we could get a pullback in SPY. But again, just to reiterate, I'm already in SPY butterfly puts. So I don't necessarily need to go short there. Okay. So got that short. And then our next that we want to be looking at, because I started this yesterday, was XLV. All right. And you can see price here is looks like it's down a couple pennies. But you guys know my plan. It's a little bit bigger. Let's go over here. Looks like this. We'll go into the monthly. That's what the monthly looks like. And as long as price is holding right here, this 131 by 129, I like it. It's tested supply on a weekly several times. And once we start to go bid above 134.40, things should look really good for a move up into 138. So again, with time. So on a pullback, I'm looking to add the DTE on that, meaning how many days I have until expiration. Comes in at right now I have 30 days. Okay. And that pretty much sums up everything. Like I said, we'll be monitoring the PMZ this morning on open. Don't forget about this guy right here, SPY, looking like it wants to drop below the neutral there. Okay. And then I'm going to take these and put these on another screen. Yeah. Uh-huh. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so it's a lot like a PMZ, and that's a great question. So Melissa's asking on the neutral strategy, do we wait? Do we take it right away? For me, so she asked if we wait for it to break down, then come back up and test it. To me, it just kind of depends on you. The same thing with the PMZ. If you feel like the cycle moves down to that 30-minute zone that I'm talking about, and to me that's the course of action. If we break down below 39.77, I do believe we move down to that 30-minute zone. Okay. Now we're not quite there. We're sort of close. There's your PMZ opening up. You can see we're below it. So just like last night, folks, it's going to be the same thing. So we're underneath it. Look for this to be resistance, and if it is, I would expect this to go down. And you could be looking at this simultaneously with the neutral strategy, seeing if they're jiving, which I'm sure they are, and you could look to go short. So again, it's more about aggression or aggressive. How aggressive do you want to be, and how convicted you are on the downside. I would prefer to give the market a few minutes to open up here and see if it's going to hold these levels. And like last night, I would prefer for the candles to push up into the PMZ and then break back down. So really quick, the risk today is 4.35 so far. It could change here as we still got 5 more minutes, and most likely it will if it continues to get a little volatile here on the open, but 4 points of risk. And then your return, I would be using the quant pivots, this target down here at 39.77 and so forth. Hmm. Let me see. Yeah, I'm actually streaming from 3 different places, guys. And let me pull up this chart here. All right, so Amazon is breaking down. And then we got Lowe's. I'll be watching Lowe's and all three of these. Apple above the PMZ, Amazon pulling back to 95.99, which is that first target. So if you're in it pre-market, cool. If you're not, I wouldn't be chasing it right here. That's just me. Mhm. Yeah. Remember, we are in a 30-minute zone, so this is interesting. We came right back to the backside of our target there of 78. Let's see if we can actually close above the PMZ. So far, not much going on. Yeah, Amazon came right into that 96, 95, 99 target. By the way, Lowe's broke out of the PMZ guys and is gone at 213, up $2 now. Apple's still holding its PMZ. You can hear a little like jitter in my voice. It's because it's cold in here. Florida is like cold right now. And so I'm in the Florida room by the water and it's just a chilly room. Well, I have a heater. I'm not going to turn it on though. I feel weird turning on a heater in Florida, but I have to sometimes. Nice. All right, so there's a pop out of the PMZ. Let's see if it's going to hold there. That's good, Larry. You must have had a big position because that wasn't very big of a move down. Your heater's on next to you. Nice. Hey, I couldn't figure out. Go ahead, go. You know what that's called? That's called supply and demand, right? The pool, Larry. It's cold down here. You said you're over in you're at Seaside, right? And I'm pretty sure it's cold. 48 degrees here. Yeah. Is it? That's so funny. You guys down in the South, man, are just like, yeah, that's funny. Hmm. Oh yeah. I'm gonna heat up my coffee just really quick and put you guys on ES futures here. Sorry. To the long side? Okay. Nice. That's a nice push off of Amazon, Dave. Right around the quant pivot and our target of 95.99. Plus you had like how many red bars down there? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And you just popped into the 5 minute cloud there. And that was a nice trade there on lows, guys. I actually executed just a tad slow. We should have been in at 213.35, and we're already up 217 and some change there. So some of you, so I get this a lot, and I want to address this. And watch Apple here on the break. I get this a lot. Hey, John, but how do I trade these if on the go? This is like the easiest answer I could tell you. We cover this 30 minutes before and sometimes even before that. And so you know your entry points. You should know them if you've been studying and you're listening. So you just execute those levels. You know, you have it set up and you're ready to go. That's the idea. Did you guys see CCL? They're down a bunch this morning. They're down $1.40. Um, yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, well, they went up big, then they just kind of dropped. All right, so there's the edge. If you're short, bring those stops in. I am. So now I have a stop right here at the edge. and I just got stopped out. And that was just a quick short on the break of the PMZ there. And again, just being cautious. Again, remember, guys, anytime you're taking a trade to the upside, right? It's what is your risk to reward, right? So if you're taking a trade here on ES futures, look at this cloud. If you're trying to go long, right? That's resistance until proven otherwise. And we're trying to come down there to 39.77. And I'm actually going to come out just a little bit. Oh, oops, I accidentally sold everything there on XLV. Give me 1 second. What you doing? What you doing, Johnny? Give me 1 second here. Mm. Yeah, we broke that 3977, guys. So our butterflies are now up 17%. Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, Melissa. I thought you took Tesla yesterday. Was it a weekly option? Yeah, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I think on a higher time frame, not with Tesla, but just futures in general, we're still sitting in the support area. I mean, really. Gotcha. Okay. So what I did there, guys, I accidentally closed out all of XLV. So I am Oil's down $2 today. Energy's probably getting wiped out. Down $1. Yep. And let's see, that zone to the downside is 39.25. So let's do, I'm gonna do probably, if we break this edge here, I'll wait on the next pop and then I'm gonna do some puts in my private account to target 39.25. Hopefully I'll peg the bottom here. It's such a, so sometimes when we are trending up and the market is starting to, and the market is starting to trend down, it takes a bit, and it really works on people's patience. And so what you start doing during that time frame is that you start looking at what do you guys start looking at when your patience is getting tested? Twitter. That's your problem, Roberto, right there. Stop looking at Twitter, man. Stop looking at Chris's stop looking at Chris's Twitter feed. I know. So Twitter, that's one. That's actually a good answer because you're looking for answers, right? And the next one would be your PL. Very small rocks too, man. I think that's something, people should do. So I'm not a cell trigger. So I am not, it's been a long time since I've been on WebEx. It's been a very long time. I can't find where if somebody's trying to come in, which it doesn't look like anyone's tried to come in, by the way. I have no idea where if somebody's waiting in a meeting, like for me to allow them to come in, where they come up at. I have no idea. Yeah, but I have no idea where to look. Last night when I was testing it, I could find it. Does anybody in here a WebEx expert? Like literally, I have no idea. Like what do I look at to see if someone high participant? No, see, I don't see anybody waiting, and it timed out. I wonder like where exactly am I supposed to let people in? I don't. They make this so complicated. Turn on web. I need you, assistant. Zoom is. Oh, is this thing like recording me? It is. That is so crazy. They're recording me, man. Let's see. See, I don't have my meeting logged. YouTube, Kathy. Yeah, on YouTube. It'll be on there. I'm gonna end this thing because I couldn't tell who was waiting for me. We'll just do YouTube for right now. Yeah, it's weird, Chris. I'll get it, man. I'll have to practice again after work today. See if I can get it down. That's all we used to use. I actually pay a lot of money for that thing per year. It's like $600 or something, man. It's ridiculous. I mean, per year, it's not bad, but I'm just saying it's kind of expensive. 300 bucks? Yeah, I might have to maybe look at that, man. And by the way, these are my private trades right here. This is what I just took, and I have a dollar stop on these. Dollar stop if you're watching. Those are 392s that expire Friday. I just don't know. Maybe we get the plunge. Maybe we don't. SPY right now trying to break underneath the neutral though. This let's go right here. There we go. Yeah, HD definitely looked like a setup, man. What about when I took whatchamacallit earlier this morning? What was the name? Lowe's? Look at Lowe's. I took it at 213, it's at 218. That was a PMZ trade from hell. Did you see that? Yeah, I trade them, Chris. Matter of fact, man, that's why I traded XLV. I've never traded the Mick though. Never traded the McKeever. That's my last name. Let's see. UNH. So I was checking out UNH yesterday. All right, let's check it out. I was going to buy UNH. Instead, I bought XLV. Okay. Because look at this pullback candle, man, on the monthly, right into a little bit of support. And from a weekly standpoint, this baby's been down 3 weeks. And if we go back and we study UNH, it's not uncommon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I bet you, just from doing a little bit of strategizing and looking at pattern recognition, I would have to guess that 3 to 5 candles down is normal, pretty normal for UNH. So this is about the time that I would want to put my hands in it. Okay, make sense? Apple, the break of the PMZ was a nice trade, guys, if you took it. Answer your question. Somebody asked me a question about the PMZ. You can buy the PMZ and the PMZ scanner by itself. That's the only thing that you can buy by itself. And if you want to buy it, it's up in the membership channel. There is a code in there that you can click on. Okay. Everything else is a package because honestly, the way I feel is that they all belong together. If you short something 10 times and it doesn't work, and the last time it does it make up for the other 9 times you were wrong? Just asking. Anybody know the answer to that? Yeah. It all, but if you were using the same allocation every time you take a trade, would your last trade that you finally hit make up for the last 9 times you were wrong? Hell no. So what you can assume is when Furus type out their alerts and tell you that, they keep getting something wrong and wrong and wrong and wrong, and then they brag about, 100% trade, it's like nobody did that, by the way. I was just thinking about something when I was looking at something. Like, that makes no logical sense. Unless you got so mad you're like, F it, I'm putting my whole account on this. What's dropping like a rock? What is, Chris? Oh, AMD. Yeah, man. The semis, they had their little launch into see how this works. They moved up into their earnings into Nvidia, and now they're pulling back. Makes sense, man. And so what's going to happen is most likely these things are going to stall somewhere between like 38% and 50%. And then Nvidia is going to report, and they're either going to push up into supply or back down into demand. It's typically the same thing, man. And it's always like leading into a catalyst. So FOMC, if you're moving up towards supply, it's pretty crazy the probabilities that whatever Powell says, the market goes down. If we're moving into demand when Powell is about to get on the mic, you're usually looking for a push to the upside. That's how it works almost all the time. It's pretty incredible. And ES futures under 77, sitting around 74. So today, oil futures are down, ES is down, the Nasdaq's down, the Dow is up. Dow is up. Everything's down but the Dow. Everything's Dow but the down. Goldman Sachs is up. HD's back down. Loads is up 9. What do you call it? The call credit spread at 340. Haven't done one of those in a long time. Let's see. Back in the game, baby. Made a little bit of money at the blackjack table, man. So every pop into the 5 minute cloud is probably an opportunity to short until we start to close over the clouds. Okay. So if you're in something and you look at the 5 minute chart, you got these EMA clouds on, I'd be looking at shorting every time it comes up. Okay. If you're already in a short, you want to be patient. If we can't close over the cloud, I think we continue down. And you can see that from the beginning of the market open. And we know what that looks like. We've seen this many, many times during this year. Okay. As far as um, the puts, like I said, that I bought over there in my private account, those are the 392s. I just have a dollar stop on them. That account I'm really flexible with. It's a small account, so honestly, I'm okay with zeros, but I'm trying to, as soon as I take them, try to put in a stop of like 30 to 50%, just depending on how I feel. So, yeah, let's go to AMD and look at a 30-minute. All right, so possibly a bounce on AMD around 71, 76, folks. Possibly. Yeah, for sure. Hey. Hmm. It sounds good. Yep, sounds great. Well, Target came right into our zone T camp that I pointed out this morning, man. It's bouncing awesome from there. I should have probably came over here and took a trade. Damn it. Literally just missed like 3 or 4 bucks to the upside. Oh, dang. Chris, I think her stop loss typically, I mean, we used to do just straight up 50% stop losses, but I'm not sure what you guys are in or what it looks like right now. I think she's letting the market kind of shake out whatever it's doing.